Hi, I'm Mark Williamson for the Golfer's Toolbox. I'm going to take you through the main functions of the toolbox. When we unscrew the top cap in the toolbox, all of the things that we need inside to set it up for practice are right there. We have 2 metal stakes to help keep it in the ground. We'll go over that shortly. We have 2 alignment rods, going to help us set it up in a lot of different ways. First of all, it's 48 inches long. It's 2 inches longer than the standard driver. It means when you travel on the airplane, you don't need anything else to take with you. Stick this in the bag, it's going to protect your driver club head. The other thing that's great about it, getting in and out of the car, having the clubs going in and out, you don't have to worry about snapping a head off, kinking a shaft, anything like that. It's going to protect your clubs anywhere you go. It can be used for a stretching pole. It's the exact same both sides, very easy to stretch with before you play. You are not going to bend this, you are not going to break this. You can stretch everything from the Achilles and the calves all the way up to the shoulders. In the instructional DVD, we have great lessons that go through this, show you how to do it. Another thing that you can do, weighted swing club. This is unloaded, weighs 1.5 pounds without the fiberglass and metal rods in it, weighs 2.5 pounds with it in it. If you want a little more weight, load it up, a little less, take it out. You can start to put it together in a number of different ways. First of all, you've just taken out about 1.5 pounds, makes it a little bit lighter to swing as a weighted club. Second of all, you've got your alignment stakes again to help you stick it into the ground, but the first thing we're going to go through is ball position and alignment. Simply take one of the fiberglass rods, fire it straight through the middle. We now have 4 perfect 90-degree angles. Doesn't matter what you do, it's never going to move off of that 90-degree angle. What makes it better than anything else, when you're hitting balls, all you have to do is hit a shot, knock it back, hit a shot, knock it back, hit a shot, knock it back. It means you're never hitting balls out of the same divot. It also means that you can now analyze your divots. If you go through the bag and you're hitting it solid with every club and all of a sudden your 7-iron's toe deep, are you going to go and fix your swing or are you going to go get your 7-iron bent? Pretty easy to figure out. Another nice setup with this configuration, if you want to work on hitting draws, real simply, close the stance a little bit. Conversely, you want to hit cuts, same thing. Just open the stance a little bit. You still know where the ball is in relation to your feet. Can help you work a lot of different shots that way. So here we've got it set up. You take 2 of the metal stakes. You're going to put them in the end opposite the side that the ruler's on. You're going to take these stakes, pop them in, stick it straight into the ground. We now have this set up right here for putting plane and chipping plane. Real simply for putting plane, all you do is set it up, rest the putter shaft right against it, and just let the putter shaft roll right down the toolbox. As you can see, the putter head is still going to open and close. This isn't anything that's forcing the head open and forcing it back closed. So if you're somebody that stands a long ways away from it, hands low, that putter head is still going to be swinging quite a bit. If you use a belly putter or a broomstick putter, or you just like being right on top of it, the closer you get, you're still going to have an open and close to the stroke. However, it's natural. It's not forced. It's not something that makes the putter head do something. As long as that shaft is working straight to straight, you're going to let that putter head move naturally, which is what everybody's looking for. It's not trying to force a stroke through this. And the same with the putter. For chipping plane, all you're going to do is set it up, get right next to it, move about 1 inch off of it. I personally grew up on zoysia fairways about 1 inch long, so I've always tried to put a lot of spin on the ball cutting across it. If you do that with this, you just hit the stick. Not a big deal. It's not going to kink your shaft. It's not going to break anything. Conversely, if you're somebody who tries to put a lot of topspin on the ball, hit a lot of bump and runs, a lot of overspin on it, you have a problem rerouting it, same thing. You're just going to hit the stick on the way back. And again, doesn't matter what you're doing here, what you end up looking for is trying to just let this wedge work right down the line without having to worry about it coming inside and hitting it or rerouting and hitting it as well. With the same setup that we have here with the 2 stakes in the ground, we simply take the 2 fiberglass alignment rods, and the nice thing about the toolbox being stuck here is that we're not going to be guessing for swing plane. It's very simple to go ahead and stick 2 in here, rest it against the toolbox, and we now have it set up to do swing plane. A couple of different ways we can do this. We can get here on this side of it and take it back and really check lines. I don't really, it would be okay, but I really wouldn't recommend hitting a lot of balls on this side. If you are somebody that drops it inside quite a bit, you could end up hitting yourself with one of the fiberglass rods. So a nice way to do it is to get here, check your lines, see if we are on plane here, and then simply step to this side where you now have a visual right in front of you and hit balls this way. One of the things that a lot of PGA Tour pros and top instructors like about this setup is that this gives us a great visual for Hogan's pane of glass and visualizing that plane and visualizing what being on swing plane actually is. From here, set it up and just take this visual and hit balls with it. It's real easy to swing under it. If you feel like you're getting off plane a little bit, simply step right back inside. Go with it this way as well. Another great setup that I really like with it, having it this way, you can bring these in a little bit tighter. Stick it right back in the ground. Now if you're somebody who struggles a little bit with swaying off of it or getting to the top and sliding into it, you get instant feedback. You're just going to hit a rod, and you're going to know that you're either sliding off the ball, moving away from it, you're sliding into it going forward. It's a great setup, great way to be able to practice with this on the range. One of the nice things as well about having it set up for putting is that we have these nice color codes right here in the middle, and the top of the toolbox we have inch marks going out to 8 inches each side. So one of the things that I like to do, it's great for distance control, is take it back, take it through to the same place, if that's how you putt, or just taking it back just to the black, just to the white, almost all the way back to the grip. See how far you hit putts, especially when you're playing on new greens. If you come out to your home course and they've top dressed the greens, they've double cut the greens, they've rolled them, whatever it is, you've got a great way to gauge that speed. If you know that when you take it back to where the black meets the white, you usually hit about a 15-foot putt, and today you're only hitting it 12 feet, obviously the greens are rolling a lot slower, you're going to have to adjust to that. Another nice thing about the inch marks on the top, and as in our instructional DVD, Jim McLean explains, you don't have to be somebody who takes it back to here and through the exact same place. If you take it back a little bit further and through a little bit shorter, that's fine. If you take it back short, through far, that's fine as well. But what this gives you is the ability to keep it the same every time. That's what does matter. That you're practicing the same way every single time when you get out to work with this. So this is really going to help you with your distance control. It's going to help you quite a bit with how you roll the putter. It's going to help you become a much more consistent putter day in and day out. Another great thing about the toolbox is all the indoor uses for it. Simply pull the alignment sticks out of the ground. It's easiest if you can go ahead and grab it this way while it's stuck in the ground, but you definitely don't have to. Pop it right out of the ground. Easily slide these alignment stakes into it. It now is, again, not sticking into the ground, just resting against it. And we now have it set up one more time for putting plane and for chipping plane. So very simply, same thing. Just going to rest the putter head against it, let it flow through it. You can use this indoors, you can chip with it this way. Great way to work on your putting when the weather isn't so great outside. Another nice thing about having it this way, this same configuration and how we have it set up for putting plane and chipping plane, we do the exact same thing, just lay it on its end, and now we have it set up for swing plane again. Now obviously this is a little bit more upright and we can't adjust it the way that we do when we're outside and have the rods at different angles. Nice thing with this is though, you can still use it for a lob wedge, a gap wedge, and still work your swing plane inside in your basement, in your living room, wherever you have room to swing a club. And the same thing. Check your lines on this side, simply step over to this side. You can sit here and make swings, see how on plane you are with your wedges in the off season. Great tool to be able to work on your swing, work on your game when the weather isn't so great outside. One of the really great things, especially for you die-hard practicers out there, when you unscrew this top, you're going to see barely poking through a little machine screw. The nice thing is our metal stakes at the end of them, each one is a flathead screwdriver. So all we're going to do is put this flathead right in. We've got a flathead screw on the inside of the end cap. Going to twist it all the way around and you're going to see this thread start to come up from this 3/4 inch machine screw. The great thing about that is the 3/4 inch machine screw is a universal size for all camcorders and video cameras. Simply twist it out, put it right back on the end, take your video camera, twist it right onto the end of this, and you now have a monopod. You can lean it up against the caddy stand, against your bag while you're on the range. You can video your swing, put it on one of the great apps that you can use to analyze your swing, send it to your coach. If you are a coach, let your students use it, have them send their swings back to you. It's going to make practicing a whole lot easier. So another really neat thing you can do that our tour staffer Charlie Belgian showed us one day, he likes to take this and set it up, one right here for an alignment aid for his feet, kind of a line to come down. You can take a couple of these alignment sticks that we've got right here, set them up right in front of you. So when you're practicing, you can come back, line up with your line, make sure everything looks good, sit here and start hitting balls right down the line. See where you're starting the golf ball. If you're looking up and the golf ball's left of where you think it should be, real simple drill. Set it up, set those things out wide. The better you're hitting it, bring them in a little bit closer. Another one that Charlie really likes to do that he shared with us, take one of these away, stick this right down the middle, right down the center line where you're hitting balls, and you can either throw this one off to the side or you can use this as another alignment aid right here for where you're starting the ball. Use the actual toolbox for your foot line, and now you can work on hitting cuts and hitting draws on the range. Simply starting the ball left of the alignment rod there, working it back to the right, or starting the ball right and working it back left. It's a very easy way to learn to work the ball. A lot of people say, how come when I've got to hit it around a tree I have no problem hooking or cutting it? This is a great way to go ahead and get that same feel on the range and then let you go ahead and take it to the golf course with you.